So I started Alone with You in the Ether, and this is not at all what I was expecting. Now that is not to say that that is a bad thing. It is not a bad thing, but it is very unexpected in the way that it is formatted, at least for the very first part. It has these oral history method interruptions that are almost written like a script, which I don't think are wholly necessary for the story. In fact, they're not necessary at all, but they're there. And I wonder exactly why that is. We've got different narrators interjecting in the midst of action and dialogue, which is very interesting. So I'm interested to see if that's going to be like the constant throughout the entire book, because it is taking me out of the story. However, at the same time, everything else I'm vibing with. Follow our main two characters, Aldo and Reagan. Reagan is an art major and she does work at an art museum, and then Aldo is a mathematics PhD and he's very much obsessed with time and inevitability, and that seems to be a constant, I think, for every Olivie Blake book I've read, which I think is quite interesting because listen, I'm also afraid of time and inevitability, but it's interesting to sort of see that be the constant in every single one of her books. Anyways, point is, we meet them separately. They both have things going on in their personal lives and they don't meet up until the end of part 1, and this will, I will assume, metamorphosize in something completely different now, definitely being romantically involved because it's a love story. So we'll see where that goes. I am quite liking them. They are pretentious, I'm not gonna lie. I think both of them in nature are very pretentious, her with her art, him with his science and his mathematics. I think the way they look at the world is very sort of posh and superior because of their respective degrees, but I am sort of vibing with it. I also like that we're getting glimpses or at least mentions of each of their family dynamics, and we get to see Aldo with his dad in their phone calls that happen daily. I love seeing that father-son relationship. I think it's quite great. And then Reagan, we see her sort of navigate this introspection of her family putting so much pressure on her and her sort of disappointing the family, her parents, because she didn't end up doing what they wanted her to do or the role they wanted her to fulfill. So I think it's quite interesting to see that in the perspective, not of an early 20s person, but somebody who is into their 30s. I am finding this dynamic quite great, if I do say so myself. So did start this, thought I'd mention it. And guess what? This video would not be possible without its sponsor, which is Flip. So thank you so much to them for sponsoring today's video. Now I need to share my love of Flip with you guys because it is the latest beauty app and it is shaking the shopping experience for beauty and wellness products. So imagine walking into a Sephora with hundreds of different brands, hundreds of different products to browse from, but with TikTok style reviews and with Amazon fast shipping. They carry over 500 brands and their different products, and what's cool is that you'll be able to see these real-time reviews so that you can figure out what to buy, what to try, and which product will become your new holy grail. And let me not forget to mention that they've literally got the coolest reward program of all time, meaning that you will get rewarded for things you already do, like scrolling, liking, voting, and uploading your own videos so that you accumulate those points and you can get up to 30% off of your own purchase on Flip. And one of my favorite things is that you get free same-day shipping and easy returns. I'm just saying, you really don't see that anywhere else. I've gotten a bunch of new products from Flip with 3 particular new favorites, including the Kaja Don't Settle Concealer, the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and a blush oil that changes depending on the chemistry of your skin. It's all very cool. I've uploaded reviews on all 3 of these products on the app, and I love how easy they make it because you can just link a specific product and you can either record on the app or bring something from your camera roll, and it's that easy. If you want to up your beauty shopping game, you can do so with Flip. You can download the Flip app for free today or go to flip.shop/MelReads and save 30% on your first order with code MelReads. And I was thinking, because today is Friday and it is currently 11:45 a.m., that we could go out for brunch together. Hi! So I'm taking you guys with me to one of my favorite places here in Panama. You've seen it before in vlogs, but I love going there. It's called For Bistro. It is delicious and it is not expensive compared to other cafe-focused restaurants, cafes, coffee shops, all of the above. I'm gonna take tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. And we'll start this and we'll see what's up. This is also my first time trying their hot chocolate. I haven't had a hot chocolate in forever. I'm afraid of burning my mouth. I'm gonna wait.
It's still hot. definitely burned my mouth, but it's very good.
I did read volume 4 of Tokyo Ghoul. Now, this volume was interesting. I think it didn't start out nearly as exciting as other volumes in the series, and then it got exciting towards the end. So for that matter, I gave it 3 stars. However, I do think it is a nice segue into a potentially more exciting volume. Hopefully volume 5 will be stellar because I haven't had a 5 star since volume 1. However, it is great to be back with Genkaneki and his struggle as a ghoul and him trying to balance his life both as a human and as a ghoul, and really learning this balance between his new life and his old life, and really navigating the nuances of being what he is, because the world is so against ghouls, but he doesn't represent what people think a ghoul is, and so he is constantly faced with difficulty because he does not fit into the stereotype that people have. And so it's really great to see him navigate that and just all of the chaos that ensues. It's quite interesting. So, you know, volume 4 was not stellar, but hopefully we are well on our way there in the next volume. However, now that I'm back home, Midnight's dropped yesterday, and there is a 3 a.m. edition now that has 20 tracks instead of 13. And so I am going to listen to Midnight and do the thing. Tomorrow is quite good. So I started this and I am currently 102 pages in and I'm really enjoying this. I definitely get the hype as to why everybody's loving this book at the moment, because not only is the writing style really beautiful and really easy to connect to in my opinion, but all the nostalgia surrounding gaming consoles and games and really connecting through playing video games with other people is something I find so beautiful. That was a big part of my childhood. My brother grew up a gamer. He was very much into that. He still is very involved in that. And so I grew up in a household where Nintendos and Xboxes and PlayStations and Game Boys and PSPs and everything was like such a big thing because my brother loved that. And whether we had those consoles or he was playing them over at a friend's, it was always a big topic of conversation and connection. And it definitely seemed like at one point in time it was the only way to connect with my brother. And so I have very fond memories over gaming with him. And so this is hitting that particular spot. We have our main 2 characters, Sam and Sadie, who met at a hospital because Sadie's sister had cancer, leukemia, and Sam was part of a super tragic accident that left his leg in a really bad condition. And so he is constantly in and out of the hospital, going through procedures and surgeries and recovery periods to try and bring his leg to the state it was in before the accident happened. Now the 2 bond over Nintendo and playing games together, and they grow estranged, and then they meet back up at the start of the novel by complete coincidence. And they obviously are at very different stages in their life by the time this starts, and they start developing a game together. And so this book seems to span out throughout a lot of years, 20 or 30 years, and we get to see them in different stages of their life. There has been mention of Sadie in her 30s, and although we haven't seen it firsthand, there was the mention of she would have said this to Sam, but they were not speaking at that point in time. So I will guess we will keep flashing forward to keep getting glimpses into their life, their love, their relationship, and everything and anything in between. I don't know if this is necessarily a love story. Like, I don't know if there's actually going to be a romance between Sam and Sadie in this, but so far so good. Now I do want to relax a little bit and watch a little bit of TV. Haven't done that today. And the new season of Love is Blind came out. So I'm thinking I can watch the first episode of that before going to bed and maybe even read. Oh my god, I haven't even told you. I read volume 5 of Tokyo Ghoul. Definite step up from from volume 4, that was way more enjoyable, way more exciting, had a lot of action sequences, and we did get introduced in volume 4 going into volume 5 to the new, I guess, antagonist of the story, which was very interesting to witness, and I think it lent for some really cool action sequences and a lot of gore. Quite like how the story is developing after somewhat of a dull volume. I will say it had a weird backstory segment that really took me out of the story, which is why I didn't give it 5 stars, ended up giving it 4 stars because it just happened in the middle of the story and it kind of took me out. And then at the end, we were starting to get more of the detectives that I really genuinely don't care about, at least not as much as Kenkaneki and Co. So there was that, but it was exciting. Anyways, new season of Love is Blind is out. So I think I'm gonna watch episode 1, read volume 6 of Tokyo and then go to bed because it's late, but I really want to watch that first episode. I saw a clip on TikTok of this guy fake crying. He literally put eye drops in his eye to pretend to cry, which I find quite hilarious, and I need to witness that. This right here, you guys, romanticize life by putting your grilled cheese on a board and your soup on a mug. It's great. I love this. So did I just make a tomato soup for the first time? Yes. Was it amazing? Yes. Would I eat it again? Yes. Do I need to put in less cayenne pepper? Yes. Was my grilled cheese amazing? Absolutely fucking yes. Welcome. Hi. So I ended up falling asleep last night and I didn't read anything, nor did I watch Love is Blind. I put it on and that was the sentiment. But since then, I have started Tokyo Ghoul Volume 6 and I am halfway through, so 50% of the way through the book. Yeah, well, the manga. But I am very much enjoying it. We are getting a world expansion where we're getting to see characters, ghouls in particular, from other wards. So it is not only now contained to the 20th ward and the detectives, but we are getting to see ghouls from other wards and exactly what has motivated them to now come into the 20th ward, exactly what they're looking for, and exactly what the landscape looks like for them in the other areas of the country versus just what we see with Kenkaneki. So I think that exposure is really, really nice. Still don't care about the detectives, but the ghouls in this one are very, very intriguing and very interesting. So I'm enjoying that. It's cool. I have sprints with my Patreons in 10 minutes, so in just a little bit. So I am hoping to get through the rest of the volume in the first sprint. So let's hope I get to do that. I started the Titan's Curse and let me tell you, it's great to be back in this world. I just love Percy, and especially with the announcement that Percy is not over yet, even though we thought it was. Biggest psych of all time. I'm not even mad about it. So started the Titan's Curse, it's going great. I am currently 102 pages into it, and I'm just gonna update you as I make some brownies. Nothing too fancy. Betty Crocker is my best friend. I'm 102 pages in, and it is honestly the best decision I made. I started rereading the series last year, and the hope was to get it all done in one go, or as close to one go as I humanly could, because the books are not long at all, so it's super easy to read, and because it's middle grade, the writing is extra accessible, and I've already read it before, so I know what I'm getting myself into. But I got up to the Titan's Curse, and then I never finished it, and so I am so glad, I'm so happy that I picked it up again, because it is just such a joyful experience. And I think in this case in particular, in the Titan's Curse, is when we really start getting loads of world building for things that have either been mentioned before or things that we've never seen. And I genuinely think that what makes the book extra interesting is the fact that Percy is extra struggling in this one, and he really is battling what he knows versus what is incoming, and how the dynamics are constantly shifting in a world that moves so fast. And he really is battling his own ego in this one, because he is the one that thinks he needs to go on all quests, do all things. It literally is sort of like the hero complex. And so now that he finds himself in the position of not being as quote unquote wanted as he wants to be, or as he believes he needs to be, it's very saddening to see that go down, but it's also incredibly interesting because it adds a little bit of a challenge. And I think also this book is doing a great job at reminding us exactly how young these kids are. Almost fucked this up, but we're not fucking up today, baby. Now I need to watch this one. And I think oftentimes it's easy to forget just how young they are because everything happening around them, it's so grand and it's so exciting. So I love that this book really is reinforcing that idea of these kids are going through so many traumatic things. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget their age, because it's super unfair that the world does this to them and for them and with them, and yet it is what happens. And now into the oven goes. I am so angry that I didn't finish the Titan's Curse in this video, but just know I am loving every second of this experience rereading this book. It is honestly astounding what, I mean, it's been almost like a decade, but it is astounding how time can make you forget so many things, a concept, right? But I genuinely did not remember most of this book, and it's literally like reading it for the first time. It's so cozy, but so adventurous, and the conflict in this book, I find, quite honestly, that out of every conflict in every book so far, I mean, this is the third one, this is honestly the most compelling so far, because not only are we battling monsters and gods and titans and this new coming of like war and everything that's happening, but the characters are also battling each other and each other's jealousy and their biases. Not only that, but their denial over the truth that is right in front of them. So it makes it extra juicy, and honestly, these kids go through the ringer. It is all Mr. Riordan's fault, but I enjoy every second of it. So yes, I'm gonna end the vlog here. I hope that you guys enjoyed this little weekend vlog moment. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and comment down below if you've read any of these books, what you thought about them, what you're currently reading. I am very curious to know that. And maybe what are some of your favorite books that you found this month? That is quite juicy. I like that question. And if you reached the end of the video, what can we, a bow and arrow? Don't forget to subscribe down below if you haven't done so already. I'm constantly uploading content that I'm sure you do not want to miss. And if you want to support the channel further and join the Citadel, which is our Patreon, it is always linked down below in case you guys want to join all of the extra fun, extra videos, live shows, a Discord server, book clubs, readathons, game nights, and all the fun. We are doing a game night this Sunday in honor of Halloween. We are playing games and watching movies, and it's gonna be everything. So if you guys want to join us, the link for that is down below alongside all of my socials. I love you guys so much, and I shall see you on the next one. Bye!